How to find motivated sellers. In this training, we'll talk about how to find motivated sellers. There's a big difference between looking for sellers and looking for tenant buyers. When you are looking for sellers, you have to do the search. And with tenant buyers, they are searching for us because we have the homes. The best way we go to look for the sellers is on for sale by owner sites, MLS, or any other area where there's a listing for homes such as Craigslist, Kijiji. You will be looking for motivated sellers. A motivated seller is evident how they are advertising. In some cases, they say they're motivated. Another place you can go to find the sellers is by talking directly to realtors or mortgage brokers. Realtors and mortgage brokers are always working with the buying and selling of the homes and financing of the homes. It's an excellent way to meet realtors and brokers and mortgage brokers by attending networking events. When you are at these events networking with these people, make sure you tell them that you are a real estate investor and that you are looking for homes to acquire. When looking for motivated sellers, you can also place ads. You can put classified ads such as Kijiji, Craigslist, or websites. You can also put bandit signs throughout the city. They are nailed or stapled to the hydro poles or just stuck into the ground. They are usually put up late at night. That's why we call them bandit signs. Many cities crack down on bandit signs and do not allow them, and they will normally pluck them out within a matter of few days. Some investors continue to use them and have some success with them without having any problems. The other place that you can look for a motivated seller is to advertise at another home that you are trying to sell. In the following section, we'll address different ways how you can find motivated sellers. Searching for motivated seller. The first way you find motivated seller is you actually go out and search for them. There are many ways you can search for the potential motivated seller. You can start by exploring websites such as FSBO, MLS, or any other location the houses are just for sale. Or you could look on the ads where it's for rent and for sale as well. You just Google the homes for sale. Some people are creative, and so they will create sites to sell their homes that way. The critical thing to realize when you're looking for motivated seller is the first determine is that they are in fact motivated. Reading the ad in one way is to determine whether the seller is motivated or not. The first thing you should be looking at is when was the ad posted, how long it has been on the market. If a property is just listed about a month ago, it's probably not going to be a good opportunity for you because the seller is not going to be that motivated. But maybe there are some words in the ad that shows you that they are motivated and they have to sell, but that's an exception. Generally, when an ad is posted, it's a good indicator of motivation. If the listing was posted 3 or 4 or 5, even 6 months ago, the chances are they are very motivated. Keep in mind that these sellers are probably inundated with a bunch of realtors trying to get their listings. So these sellers may not be very receptive to you. The best approach is to call these people up and find out what their situation is. You will have to talk to the sellers, explaining what you are trying to do. You explain it to them that you would be taking over the payments, eliminating their problem. You will need to build a rapport with them. The longer the seller has been trying to sell their house, the more motivated they are to enter into a lease agreement or transfer their title to you. They are feeling the pain of monthly payments. A $1,200 to $1,500 extra payment hurts them, especially if they carry it for several months. The situation is usually that the owner has been carrying on these payments for several months. Banks are calling them and the credits are calling them. And these sellers are very interested in hearing your program. When you approach these people, we tell them that they let us market their property. We could probably put somebody in their house within 30 to 60 days. And then we ask them if this is something they would be interested in. Do we offer to take over their property for what they owe on it? Not necessarily, depending on how motivated they are, what's the market value, and what's their situation, and whether we have a tenant buyer in hand. These motivated sellers are very interested in hearing what you have to say. They are tired of talking to creditors about payment, hearing from realtors, looking for listings. And if you could approach them in a way which is both beneficial to them and to you, you got the deal. Another thing you can do is to outsource the finding of motivated sellers. By outsourcing, I mean you can either hire somebody or get an assistant to do it for you. It's straightforward. You will need to put together a script for someone can use to gather the initial information, and there are some critical pieces of information that you need to get. For example, what's the asking price? How much do they owe on the property? What are their monthly payments? How far are they behind in their monthly payments? Do they need to sell the property? Can you take over their monthly mortgage payments? And if they can keep the mortgage in their name. Once you develop that script, all you have to do is give it to the person you have outsourced, whether it's your assistant or whether you hire somebody to do this for you. Fiverr is a good place to hire someone to help you as well. Another thing you can do to find a seller is to use bird doggers. Bird doggers are people that are interested in finding the properties for you in exchange for a referral fee. They will contact sellers once they know what you're looking for, once they see that you are looking for houses for lease option program, and you will explain them how the program works. These bird doggers will get on the phone and start calling the sellers for you. Bird doggers are generally more expensive than an assistant, but because they are more expensive, you will expect a lot more from them as well. They won't just be cold calling to determine if they are eligible for the program. They may be putting the whole deal together. They will be closing the deal, getting the contract signed off, and of course it will depend on the arrangement you have with them. Realize that when you start contacting sellers, you are not just going to find a house on your first call, maybe not even on your second or third call or even on your 10th call. You will probably need to make 20 to 30 calls before you find someone that might be interested in the program. Like anything else in sales, it's a numbers game. The more calls you make, the more deals you will make. Make sure you make enough calls to get enough responses to get a discount. If you practice this approach every day, you should find 1 to 2 sellers a week interested in entering into the program, and maybe 3-4 deals a month is possible, or 3-4 properties a month is possible. In summary, the first way you find motivated sellers is by searching the websites and calling them. So make sure you are on the game. Advertising for motivated sellers. Another way to find motivated sellers is to advertise for them. By advertising, I mean placing ads on online classified ads, Craigslist and Kijiji, etc., social media, online classified ads. You may also try many of these online websites for sale by owner websites. The thing about advertising for motivated sellers is that there are not many sellers looking for your solution. There's no place where motivated sellers can go and say, how do I sell my house fast? Most of the people in difficult financial situation, means motivated, are trying to sell their house by looking at the trading in one of the following ways. One way motivated sellers might sell the house is by trying to sell it themselves because they can't wait any longer, and because they can't afford a realtor, they are advertising the property for sale by owner, FSBO sites. The other way they would try to sell is by using a realtor, but sometimes the realtor is not a viable option because the owner doesn't have enough equity in the house even to pay the realtor, and maybe the owner is stressed and they're trying to save money and things are not moving fast enough. The realtor has had the listing for 2 or 3 or even 4 months and the owner is fed up, and often the owner will place their ads and whatever the advertising the realtor is doing. An excellent way to find motivated seller is by running ads on the social media. You can advertise by using Facebook ads. These ads can be targeted based on age, location, even on personal interests. Another place to advertise is Google AdWords. When using Google AdWords, make sure you use the right keywords. For example, house for sale. Maybe you're looking for credit problems or home equity loan. The key when advertising online for motivated seller is to be creative. Ensure the ad headline is so compelling that the motivated seller stop and look for you or find you. Use of the right keywords for the ads is very important. Look for the right ad sections to place these ads. We'll be discussing this technique more in detail in the next week's trainings. Keep in mind, you may not be allowed to post an ad in the ad section where you want to post the ad. For example, one place you will want to post the ad is where people are looking for homes for sale, where the motivated sellers are looking on how other people are posting their ads. However, these online ads or classified ads may not allow you to run the ad saying, "Cancel your house, call us. Maybe we'll help you." These sites won't allow you to run an ad like that because that's merely soliciting and not selling a house. In one section you can advertise, and Kijiji is the real estate service section. However, there aren't many people looking in that. So keep in mind that these people are advertising for the same thing that you are advertising. You have to make your headline stand out. You have to make your ads unique. You may even need to pay to promote these ads. Don't get caught looking like everybody else. If you need to spend a little bit more time to get the ads seen more, don't be afraid to finish it. You will need to spend time on your Facebook ads, on your Google ads, and to promote your online classified ads. Try to be smart about looking for the motivated sellers. Make sure that you are not just saying looking for people who are motivated that cannot make their payments so we can help. Try to be more creative in the sense that you're looking for solutions for these people, these sellers' problems. Try to focus on other keywords that you think the motivated sellers might be searching. This applies to all the 3 ad types I just mentioned: Facebook, pay-per-click ads, Google AdWords ads, online classified ads. Ensure that you are spending some money on your Facebook and Google ad. You want to get as much exposure as you can do so that people can find you. In summary, it's a lot harder to advertise so that the motivated sellers can find you than it is to search for the places where motivated sellers have property listed for sale. Networking for motivated seller. The last way to find out motivated sellers is by networking. By networking, I don't mean just going to the party and talking to people. I mean seeing and talking to the right people. First of all, everyone you speak to should end up knowing what type of business you are in, not just that you are in real estate invest. It would help if you are very specific about what you're doing. Ensure people know that you are helping people who have financial problems, can't meet their monthly payments for their homes. Especially you help those people solve the problem by taking over their monthly payments. Some people know that lease options and rent to own and what you do. Whatever the more common terms that people are familiar with within your neighborhoods, that's what you should is talk in their language and start using those words. Start explaining your program to them in that way. For example, one community I invest in lease options is a universal term. Another city I'm inactive, they have never heard of lease options. Rent to own is a more common term. And some people may not even know the ALP system, and so which is more better than both lease options and rent to own options. But you will explain to them that it's similar to rent to own and it's similar to lease options because those are the most well-known terms. Before you start networking, you need to develop an elevator pitch. That's what you want to do. Call it. I hate that expression. It's just a description of what you do and how you want to describe it so that people can understand. Once you have your pitch, you want to meet people who are interested in your service. It would be best to talk to professionals who deal with motivated sellers. A professional is the financial industry. You want to start a relationship with financial planners in your area, mortgage brokers. You want to start a relationship with bankers. However, bankers may not be keen on referring somebody to our program because they may not like some of our arrangements to take over the property and transfer the deed while the owner stays on the title. As long as the bank doesn't know about the transfer, or as long they are okay with the transfer, then maybe they are okay dealing with you. As long as the bank is making the money, they may be happy. When you take over someone's title, you are not doing anything illegal. The only thing that happens is the due on sale clause may be activated. In all of the deals I've done, the lender has never called on due on sale clause because they were getting the mortgage paid every month. And the other types of financial person you may want to network is the mortgage brokers, mortgage agents, and even realtors. Mortgage brokers get approached by people all the time, and these people might have credit problems trying to refinance their houses. These people run into the real problems, and most of them want to refinance deals. Refer to them, the mortgage brokers. A mortgage agent contacts me and tells me that they have clients who came to them looking for a second mortgage, looking to refinance. They can't help them because the client doesn't have the credit. Their client is going to be bankrupt if someone doesn't support them. We'll look into the situation and present alternatives to the clients. One option is to bring a third-party investor to buy the property or to buy the house and lease it back to the owner. And that's what we refer to as a lease buyback, which we already covered. The other option for these people is to hand over their house for us to rent another place on their own. In this case, we'll take over their monthly payments, and if this makes sense for us to do so. In most cases, there's much better situation for these people. For example, let's say the owners are paying $2,000 for their mortgage, and let's say I could rent that house under rent to own program for $2,500, and that's the type of deal I would be very interested in doing. For example, the owners may find another place to rent at much lower monthly payment of $1,000 to $1,200 a month. Networking is the fundamental way to find motivated sellers. Networking is essential as long as you know people and they know what you are doing. Don't be shy about talking about your real estate investing. People sometimes try to hide it from other people. They think that people think this is a big shot real estate investor. They will be treated differently. People will talk to them differently and think that they are snob. Don't worry about that. Make sure that you're talking to the people, that they understand this is what you do. Whenever I'm with people, they always ask me, and what's the real estate business? Eventually people will ask me, what is that I do? Sometimes I'll arrange to have lunch with them and explain what I do. Even if these people are not interested, they are not motivated, they could become investors, and maybe they will know somebody who is in that situation, and maybe they have friends or family that are motivated. Perhaps they know someone that might be interested in our services as a motivated seller or as a motivated buyer. In summary, make sure you're communicating your service effectively, network with the right people, go to the suitable events. You probably aren't going to find a lot of motivated sellers at $500 a night events. That's not that. I go to these.